Java moss is a freshwater species of the Hypnaceae family that is used as an aquarium carpeting plant. The versatile plant creates attractive aquascapes in home aquariums, giving the tank a lush, natural ambiance. Java mosses come in various shades of green and are furry, densely growing bryophytes with lots of small, delicate stems. The plant's low care needs, aquascaping benefits, and affordability make it popular amongst aquarists. Today, in his video we will know everything about Java moss. But before we proceed to the details, make sure you show us some support and subscribe our channel. Like the video and share it, it will also notify you every time we upload a new video. Let's get going now. Origin. Java moss originates in Southeast Asia, including Japan, Singapore, Java Island, Vietnam, Malaysia, and the Philippines. The plant grows on land and underwater and is usually found growing on rocks, riverbanks, and tree trunks in moist, tropical climates. Java moss is one of the most common aquatic and semi-aquatic plants in the wild and has the ability to grow on almost every surface, including driftwood, gravel, and the surface of the water. Appearance and size. Java moss is a bright green leafy plant that forms dense, carpet-like clumps. The plant's stems are short, reaching a maximum of 4 inches tall, and are covered in tiny 0.7-inch overlapping leaves. Java mosses don't have roots. Instead, the plants have tiny sticky feet, called rhizoids, which anchor them in place. The plants grow slowly, at a rate of between 1 and 1.5 inches per month. When grown underwater, Java moss has smaller greener leaves than when grown on land. Young, newly planted moss is brighter than old moss. Benefits of Java moss in aquariums. Java moss has aesthetic benefits that give the tank a natural appearance and provide a realistic habitat for fish in captivity. The plant is a common feature in breeding tanks as a place for fish to lay their eggs, and the moss is known to harbor infusorians, which are ideal food for newly hatched fry. Java moss aquarium conditions and requirements. Caring for Java moss is easy. The plant grows in most water types in the wild and prefers a strong water current, moderately warm water, and a neutral pH. Java mosses don't need a special type of substrate because they're light enough to anchor to any surface or substrate. Tank requirements. When grown underwater in a tank, the plant has several requirements that should be considered during tank setup to mimic its natural damp, warm Southeast Asian habitat. Java mosses need a surface to grow on, but they're not picky. The moss will grow on substrate, driftwood, stones, glass surfaces, and tank decorations. Moderate or dim tank lighting for 8 to 10 hours per day is fine because the plant is used to growing in shaded conditions in the wild. Bright lighting allows the plant to grow densely but increases algae growth. The moss is used to moderately warm waters and tolerates temperatures up to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, but it grows fastest in water with a temperature of around 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Tank placement and aquascaping. Java moss doesn't have roots, which means it can be grown on a variety of horizontal and vertical surfaces inside an aquarium. The easiest use of the plant is carpeting for the bottom of the tank. Because the moss grows dense and short, it's ideal for covering up unattractive features in an aquarium, like plastic decorations. This moss is a popular aquascaping plant, and it looks attractive when grown on a piece of driftwood assembled in the tank to look like a small tree. The plant quickly spreads from its original clump if not trimmed. How to plant Java moss. To establish the moss quickly, separate it into thin, 2-inch pieces to allow the maximum amount of light to hit the leaves and stems. Place the plant pieces on the substrate, or rock, or other flat surface and allow several days for the plant to anchor. In order to plant Java mosses on challenging surfaces, such as the curved edge of driftwood, tie the plants in place with fishing wire. Leave the wire in place until the plants attach to the surface on their own, then use scissors to snip the wire. Care and growing guide. Java mosses are hardy plants that grow steadily in most water conditions. They're easy to care for because they don't need special nutrition or specific water conditions, and they don't overwhelm the tank with excessive growth. Nutrition. Fertilizer and CO2 can be used to encourage the Java moss to grow faster than normal. However, these extra nutrients aren't necessary if the moss lives with fish, and hair algae are likely to grow if the plant is over-fertilized. Maintenance. Java moss isn't prone to any plant-specific diseases, but there are several problems associated with this plant to avoid. Dirt buildup. Java moss's densely growing leaves accumulate detritus from uneaten food and fish waste, which pollutes the tank. To clean built-up dirt off of rocks, tank decorations, or driftwood, remove the entire object with the moss and rinse it under cool water. To clean Java moss on surfaces that can't be removed, use a 3/8 inch tube to siphon detritus out of the moss. Algae growth. Algae commonly grow on Java mosses, especially in tanks with intense lighting. Typically, algae grows faster than moss, so removing the algae without ripping out the moss is difficult. To reduce algae growth, add algae-eating fish and invertebrates to the tank, like Chinese algae eaters and amano shrimp. Before introducing a new species to the tank, ensure it's compatible with established tank species. Leaf browning. Java mosses turn brown when they don't have sufficient nutrients, light, or clean water. To prevent the plant from dying, add a small amount of fish-safe fertilizer to the tank, take steps to control algae growth, add more carbon dioxide if necessary, and check that your water and lighting conditions are optimal. Overgrowth. The moss needs to be trimmed back occasionally to prevent it from taking over the tank. Trimming gives the plant a clean appearance and allows for healthier growth by giving all of the leaves and stems access to light. Trim the plant into a smooth, single-level carpeting layer with a pair of scissors whenever it begins to grow into a small bush. That is literally all you should know before adding Java moss in your tank. If you find this video helpful, do show us some support and subscribe the channel and like the video and share it with your friends. See you in the next one.